What's up, photography world? Joshua Grasso here from theshutterschool.com. Today I got a quick tutorial for you on natural light, and it's kind of got two aspects of this tutorial. First is how to use natural light, a trick for using natural light for bridal portraits. The second aspect of the tutorial is how to think about taking a variety of photos in one spot. So we're going to try to take 3 different photos using the exact same location that look totally unique. So if you're stuck in a hotel room or a simple location and you don't have a lot to work with, you need to learn how to make a variety of pictures in one spot. Especially somebody like a portrait photographer or a wedding photographer. You know, at a wedding I'll be in a hotel room with the bride and there might not be a lot to work with and we might only have a couple minutes. We can't go outside. The lobby they don't allow you to shoot in the hotel lobby or something like that, and I need to hurry up and get some nice beautiful portraits in a short amount of time. Then I want to be able to think about how can I get a variety in one location. So that's what we're going to do here. All I had was some curtains and a window in a hotel room, and I created 3 totally different looking images. So let's get into it. I didn't get a great behind the scenes because I was by myself this weekend, but this kind of shows the part of the room that we're working with. I should have got a big room shot to show you, but you could imagine that any hotel room you go into, you're going to have a situation like this where you have a window and some curtains. And so I'm going to turn this into a little mini studio here to create 3 different photos. So let's walk through all the photos and the thought process of how I was able to make these. Okay, so the first thing I noticed was that it was a very bright sunny day, so the light that was coming through the windows was very bright. And if I was able to close the curtains enough, then the room would be much darker than the window, and you're going to create a really dramatically lit scene. And I kind of wanted to create something interesting in that dramatic light. So the first shot, I closed the sheer part of the curtains to make it like a giant softbox, and then I posed the bride in front of the softbox, and I wanted to show off some shape and use this light to kind of highlight her and a little bit of a silhouette. So this is kind of the setup. You know, I worked some different angles of putting her in the window here. This one's not edited, just to show kind of the scene and the light. And as you can see, it's super bright down the middle where the window's open, but then the edges of the room, like where this closet is, and the edges of the curtain are much darker. So look for this hard contrast of light and you can create some interesting images. So after I worked this scene here and got her in front of the window, I wanted to make it more interesting, so I went through the bathroom door, kind of had it almost all the way closed where I can shoot through it, and created an interesting frame like I was peeking in. And part of the reason I did that was the bed sticking out here. And so actually the final version that I gave her, I had it where you didn't see that bed, but running through these photos, just wanted a quick example. And so as you can see, it's her posing in the window. One example of something with some dramatic light. I got an interesting frame there, and there's one photo. Alright, and so this is kind of a half photo. I wanted to use this light even more dramatically, so I closed it to a really skinny little slit so that it would be a really interesting silhouette for her, and get a really dramatic light showing off the background. I thought these were interesting curtains, so I kind of wanted to include them. It's just a super simple soft portrait. This one's nothing too amazing here, but just to show how the light is falling. And so then I decided I wanted to do something a little more dynamic with the light, and then here's kind of the position I put her in where the light is coming in from that shadow slit to light this side of her face, and then there's a sharp fall off in the background. So I'm just using this light differently as I move her around and move around. And then finally have her look down towards her shoulder and just really focus on that hard light coming in, because it is such bright sunshine and there's a super sharp fall off. Her bright white dress is going to be brighter than the background, so it's still going to pop even though it's in shadow. So the only things popping are her eyes and her dress. So this is my favorite photo of using that dramatic light. So far really I've got 2 photos. The other ones were kind of in between practice and setup photos to show you. I've got the shooting through the door, got the really dramatic light that she's looking in, and then I want something more soft and classic. So, and actually this is technically cheating a little bit because there was 2 rooms with different curtains. So it's the exact same setup, the exact same situation here, except for it's just the next room over with different colored curtains. So I can imagine doing these exact same photos in the exact same spot. And so here's a little bit of a setup to show the curtains kind of wrap around the corner, and I kind of like how they're gold. And because I'm wanting to go brighter and warmer here and not use the dramatic light, a lot of times brides like natural bright light. They don't always like the moody dramatic stuff, so I always make sure I get both. I like the dramatic moody stuff. Some brides like it. Some of the more artsy couples will really like the dramatic light. As an art, I think the dramatic light looks way better. But as a classic portrait for a bride, bright natural light is always a great way to go. So here's kind of the setup. As you can see, the light coming through the window, super bright, and so I want to get her as close to that bright space as possible without getting hard light on her. So I have her step back far enough so that the light will not directly fall on her. Just this big wall of bouncing around light will hit her. So as you can see there. And then I want to do something a little bit more creative. I got some basic traditional portraits like this, just got close-ups with my 85. I did some different angles here, different compositions of this portrait, but this is the look. As you can see, super bright light, it's filling up her bright eyes, super soft skin, everything looks great. And then I want to get something a little more artsy, so what I did here to show you a little trick is I covered up that bright spot with the other curtain. I grabbed it and pulled it over like this in front of the camera and kind of shot behind the camera just to try to give me a little bit of a layer. And then here's the look. I had her looking into the light to get kind of shadow on one side of her face. It's still relatively bright, but a little bit more dynamic than the previous ones. And then I had her playing with her hair and laughing, had her joking around and stuff so that we can get a big huge smile. She's looking out the window. This curtain is covering up the window so that she's the brightest thing. So again, this is kind of a combination of the two where we have dark and bright. She's bright and soft though, so having the background dark is okay because she pops. So there you have it, 3 totally different photos in one window light setup. The next time you have a chance to play with some window light, definitely go for it. See what kind of drama you can create, see what kind of brightness you can create, get a variety, show off the background, don't show off the background, just kind of play around, look different ways, do different poses, and hopefully you can create 3 totally different pictures in one spot. That's what I always recommend. I try to get something classic and something artsy in every portrait location, every portrait setup, so that I can guarantee my bride's going to be happy. Personally, this one's my favorite. It's so hard to work with hard light that when you really get it to work, it really pops. It's really cool. That one's my favorite. Hopefully the bride likes all of them, and hopefully you give it a shot as well. Awesome. Thanks so much for watching. Hopefully you got some inspiration on how you can get better photos in a hotel room using natural light and getting some variety. I'd be forever grateful if you subscribed and smashed the like button. Help me grow. Help you keep seeing my videos so that you can become a better photographer and we could all win together. All right, again, I'm Joshua Grasso from the Shutter School. See you in the next video.